Okay ka na?
Yes po.
Malapit na. Okay. So hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to SM Stationery Virtual Art Fest 2021. Since 2016, SM Stationery has been bringing the series of art workshops to select SM malls. This year, we are bringing it online so you can stay creative in the comfort and safety of your own homes. But before we begin, here are a few of our webinar house rules. Number one, please remain muted at all times. Number two, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box and we'll get back to you shortly. Number three, please note that this webinar is recorded for documentation purposes. Number four, do show us your best work. We'll be taking a group photo at the end of the webinar. And most importantly, we hope you all have fun. And now, we would like to turn you over to our workshop facilitator. Here he is, Mr. Ian De Jesus.
Hi, everyone. So it's a good afternoon for everyone. So kahit medyo mainit, we'll try to proceed with our workshop for today. So to start, I'll be sharing with you the kit just to review. So feel free to check the screen where my hand would be shown there. So this would be the Virtual Art Fest 2020, the Urban Sketching Sakura kit. So every kit that you would probably get, wala to kasi gawa ko to. So you'd probably get Micron. This is 05 black, and then you'll be getting 3 koi coloring brush pen. One would be in light brown, and light blue, and light gray. You'll have a free pencil case that comes with it. And then there are several paper, postcard size paper. So the intention of the postcard size would be probably after you paint, you can put it in your journal, you can put it in your album, scrapbook, or you can send it to your loved ones. So to give you an overview, before we start, I would like to ask for you to at least feel free to like and subscribe to the social media channels of the sponsors of this workshop. First is SM Stationery. You can check them in Facebook. You can check them in Instagram and Twitter. You can also like and subscribe and follow Sakura Philippines. They are Sakura Philippines in Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's Sakura Art PH. So after this workshop, I encourage you to post your work online. Feel free to tag SM Stationery, Sakura Philippines, and me, Raven Fox 13. So for this session, I'll be using a bigger paper so that you can see it better. And then, of course, we also have a brush included in the set. It's a Berkeley number 5 round because we'll be doing some watercolor effects with the markers. I'll show you an example of what I did for this. So this one is an ancestral house here in Malabon. There. So mostly these are pigmamicrons plus shading using the brush pens. So this is a walking distance house from our house. And then this is the nearest church in our house. It's a former visita in our place. When I posted this, a friend even told us that it looks very similar to a Mexican church. It's probably because we were under the Spanish rule for 300 more years. So today we'll be doing an urban sketching class. Urban sketching is it should be done on the spot. Okay. In short, it is something that you should and must do on the place where you are drawing. But since we have some restrictions in uh, the pandemic, I decided to just do it here at home. I actually planned it to be I would be outside and then drawing and painting with you on the spot. Kaya lang it might have some issues. Baka makita nyo ako sa Zoom. I'll be baka hinuhuli na ako, 'di ba? Mas corny. So we'll start with a regular paper. This would be a practice sheet to start. So you can get any kind of paper that you have. I'll be zooming in yung camera ko so that you can see the paper better there. So start with, we'll be using first yung material so that you get acquainted with them. So these are some of the strokes, and I would invite you to do this with your Micron. Micron is Pigma Micron is using archival ink. It's actually a pigment ink, so you will have no problems for the light fastness, which means it won't fade and it won't usually be problematic when you add water over it because it's waterproof, especially when dried on the paper. Always make sure that you're using good quality paper. So for this, you can use any paper. This is just a parang, to start, we'll be exercising our hands first. So I'll be introducing you to some of the terms that are used, especially in sketching, that we will be using later. So we'll start with this one. This is a hatching sketch. So when I say hatching, it doesn't even require you to get a ruler. These are lines that are parallel to each other. So when you are sketching, you're mostly doing a quick drawing that captures or gives you different kinds of information about the subject of the drawing. Example, it could be a simple drawing like this. So let's try to do a hatching with diagonal line like this. Could also be hatching doing a horizontal line like this. Hatching can be done with a very quick hand. So you want to just pull the pen into the paper. The thickness and the thinness of the thin and thick of the line would depend on your pressure on the paper plus the point that you're using. Since we're using a 0.5, I'll show you how to create darker lines using this. The closer the hatching lines together, like this, it would appear darker in value in comparison with the other lines. So the more that you can see that the lines are farther from each other, the lighter the value it would become. So this can be used in either of these kinds of horizontal, diagonal, or horizontal, diagonal, and vertical lines. So any of these, you can do these. You can add lines to make it appear a little bit thicker or darker in that part, like this. Okay, feel free to do this. Next one would be cross-hatching. The only reason why cross-hatching is called cross-hatching is you'll be using at least two of these lines together, overlapping. So it would provide you and giving you a texture similar to a net. Okay, so example, this is cross-hatching using one hatching line from one direction. And then if I add another diagonal line from the opposite direction, it would form another kind of shape inside. So these are parang mga diamond shapes. Cross-hatching. This is also cross-hatching. So you can have yung variety of spaces. And then on the side here, there. So it could suggest texture and value at the same time. You can also combine these two, but not necessarily everything should meet. So like this, you could do a diagonal, another diagonal here on this side. You can do a straight diagonal here, also do this. So this is still a hatching, but a combination in different kinds of direction. Okay. You can also do cross hatching with the lines like this. Not every line would be hatched. You can also do that like that. Okay. Next, we'll be doing stippling. Stippling is one of the fun thing to do. It takes a lot of time to do it, but it's simply doing points like this in your paper, like that. So the nearer the points, the nearer the points to each other, the darker the value of the surface, like that. This is very good when you're doing texture, especially if the place or the subject has a texture similar to a stippled surface like this. The more points that are closer to each other, the darker the value of the space, like that. Next one, this is another favorite of mine. It is scribbling. So when you say scribbling, just do this. So you're just doing scribbles like that. This is very useful when you're using or drawing trees, foliage, like that. You can also do lines similar to a pattern like this one. You can do zigzags like this. These are good, especially if you're doing mga wide na mga grasslands or some textured spaces. You can also do a spiraling stroke like this. Pwede din yan. So it actually has different kinds of variation. You can combine these strokes. Example, you can either do a hatching like this, and then on this side, you can do yung scribbling sa baba like this. And then you can also add stippling on some parts. So all of these things are the basic ways on how to use your micron pen. Basic ways, okay? So I'll shift to watercolor paper quickly here. Then I'll show you how to use yung brush pen. First, these brush pens can be used as is, as they are. So I'll show you yung color ng ating brush pen. So first would be yung gray. So the gray that I chose is yung dark. So the colors that I chose for this kit are the darker colors, but not the darkest colors. So you have here yung gray. And then I also have here yung brown here. And then I also have the blue. So if you ever you have any questions all through our seminar, please just put it on the chat box. I can read it and then we can discuss it later on. Okay. So you can use the brush pens like this, as is. No changes, no gradation, as is. That's one way. Another way is you can use them together. Example, I'll be using the blue here. I'm just using a bigger watercolor paper to show it to you on the screen easier. And then you can use the other color to blend here. See? The koi watercolors are water-based. You can blend them together to create other colors like this one. See that? Okay, I'll do the same thing with the brown. Here, I'll add gray. One reason why I decided to use the gray is because a neutral color with blue and brown, actually, you can do many things with this. You can also do the blue and then the brown together. See, you can create more variations of the color. So this is a greenish color. produce there. And what's more exciting when using this is that you can do this. So example, this is the gray color using the brush pen, or the brush rather, with water. I'll be wetting the pen here, and then you can see that it turns into a watercolor effect there because it's a water-based kind of ink. You can also do this if you got yung blender. They have a blender for this if you want to use all pen siya. Meron siyang blender. You can get it from SM Stationery. It is the white pen. But to make it easy, you can use a brush included in your kit and just water like this. Yeah. So the blue, then the brown. So what happens when you do this is that you have different kinds of values for your color like this. So the range of colors that you can use now got better. So you have here yung mga lighter beige, lighter blue, and lighter grays. When you combine these colors together, example here, this blue, and then this brown together, and then you wet it with water, you can see a beautiful green here. This is a very earthy green there. You can also use the brown. Yes, you can also use the brown and the gray so that you neutralize the brown in color. It would turn into a more neutral brown. At the same time, you can also do the same thing with the blue. You add a little gray or more, and then you'll have that neutral blue there. You can do all these things if ever you have a mixing plate. Example, you have a mixing plate like this. Any mixing plate that you have, you can just swatch the color inside your mixing plate. You can also do this. So I'm just sharing with you the different ways on how to use the pens like that. And then I'll get the blue over here. You can do this with any non-porous surface. You can use your plate at home, a mixing plate, or a plastic panel like this, and then use the brush like this. Add water, brown. So it would be less streaky, blue, and gray. Okay? So that would be the basics of the things that you have in your kit. So now, we'll proceed with how to do yung urban sketch. So since hindi natin tayo makakaalis dito sa bahay, I decided I show you pictures. So this is a virtual sketching tour, and then I'll show you how to do yung urban sketch with it. First, we will be using muna yung ating as is yung ating mga materials without water. So let's try to sketch 2 images. I have here yung isang image here. There. So this is one beach in Palawan. Okay, so now urban sketching should be done on the spot sa place na kung nasaan mo nakita yung image. The only reason we're doing this today like this is because of the pandemic restrictions. Pero what urban sketching actually gives you is a way of parang mag-chill ka ng konti dun sa space, and then you try to observe yung surroundings ng mas matagal na hindi mo kailangang kunan ng picture, but you are depicting most of the details in your sketch. It doesn't necessarily have to be a perfect sketch of the place with all of the right colors, all of the right forms in there, but you want to get yung essence ng place. Okay? Kasi if you really want everything to be exact, you can just take a picture, which is more exact than the usual process of sketching. What sketching and drawing does is it increases your way of appreciating things. You'll realize that there are things and objects and shapes and forms that are actually present in the image. So let's start here. I'll show you yung idea how I sketch. First, first thing you need to do is to check yung mga shapes na nakikita natin. So for this one, I'll be using muna yung ating micron. Okay? So I won't be using a pencil. So minsan masaya ding mag-sketch ng walang lapis. Pero for this session, I'll be doing a pencil sketch para mas magets nyo yung ating process. So for this example, ito yung nakita yung scene. The scene is actually like this. Feel free to draw with me. This is a rectangular portrait sketch like that. Okay? So yun yung unang shape natin, yung shape ng idodrawing natin, that one. Next is ano yung nakikita mo dun sa image. So you have here a brown na daanan. So this way, and then a small boat around here. You have here big dark stones with different kinds of foliage all throughout here. More or less, you can check na by approximation. A sketch is usually made through approximation. So approximately, the space is divided into half like this. Yan yung una natin na nakita. Hinati natin yung space into half. And then, you can also divide the space into half vertically. Okay. So this is one way of sketching, to divide it vertically and horizontally. So meron tayong apat na quadrant. Next, meron akong shape dito, here. So I want to get that shape. So isipin mo lang na meron akong shape na nakita. That shape is like this. Huwag mong isipin kung ano yung dinodrawing mo. Just think of the shapes first as shapes. Okay? Next, there's another shape over here on this side. I'll be drawing that shape here. Again, don't think masyado na mahirap i-drawing yung shape. Just draw yung shape. And then, you see here, dito sa side na to, bago mag-gitna, this one, that this is a big mound of rock. So you put that rock there. So when you're sketching like this, you just put all of the shapes that you see, like that. Okay? And then, pag nakita mo, halos sinusundan niya, it almost follows this shape papunta doon. Like this. Okay? Madali lang siya. Isipin nyo, that's one thing. When you're doing this, just think of it na madali lang siya. When you think of something na madali lang, magiging madali lang siya. Okay? Next, this rock here is half of the upper quadrant. So around here, half. And then yung kanyang width, half din nung isang quadrant. So here, and then it has this almost triangular shape around here. And so I already drawn most of the parts of the image here on this side. Now, let's put the boat. The boat here, the shape of the boat is something similar to this. And meron na tayong boat. There. Okay. Diba? We have these two mounds of land here. The pathway that goes all throughout dito sa dulo. Yan. Here. Water. And then yung ating part na to, pakikita nyo, dun yung light sa side na yun. So you just do a scribbly drawing there. Like that. Okay? So this is our easy, easy na gagawin natin today. So let's start. Ang usual na sinasabi ko, paano ka magsa-start? It's either you start from the top, pababa ng drawing, or you start from yung pinakamalapit sa'yo na part, papunta sa likod. Okay? So for this, ang pinakamalapit sa atin would be yung mga wood planks na to. Okay? So these are just lines that are almost parallel to each other when you look at it. And then since we already have this line here, yung shape niya, you can actually do it. Tapos pag nakita nyo, merong isa ditong parang pasaway na wood plank na lumagpas. So we'd probably do that one first here. First wood plank. Next, let's do another wood plank. From there, when you're doing urban sketching, it doesn't have to be exact. So pwede nyo siyang hindi bilangin. Kasi baka isipin nyo, naku, baka bibilangin natin yung wood planks. Hindi. So kinuha lang natin yung lumampas na isa. And then, we will be sketching yung lines. Tas, what you notice here is yung wood planks, habang lumalayo siya, when the wood planks tends to go further, mas magkakalapit na yung line. Similar do sa ginawa natin na practice kanina. So like this. Then meron ulit nagpasaway na isa. Mas mahaba. And then you just do yung lines dito na hindi na siya gaanong kita sa dulo. Like that. There. Diba? Dali lang. So you already did a wood plank here. Now, let's try to connect yung mga wood planks. So, 1, 2, 3. Just connect yung dalawang magkakasama. Hindi kailangan na exact or perfect. So when you're sketching, always remember, a sketch is a fast drawing. So what you want when you sketch is yung information na ibinibigay nung drawing doon sa viewer. Now, as you notice, there are dark parts doon sa ating planks. So yung lines na yon pababa. So you do that to dito. Especially dun sa mga nasa bandang unahan. Here. There. Wood planks natin na nasa gitna. Ayan. Okay? Tapos yan, makikita nyo may dark parts doon, di ba? So, you try to add yung lines na yan para makita nung tumitingin. So, I'm haphazardly coloring with ink here. There. Para ma-feel nyo na, okay lang na may lampas-lampas. Oo. Kasalanan niya ng mga teachers natin nung bata tayo na bawal maglampas pag nagkukulay saka nagdo-drawing. Sa totoong buhay, okay lang kasi wala naman talagang perfect na bagay when you're drawing or coloring or painting. Everything, meron siyang mga mishaps. So that would look more natural, mas natural pag ganyan. Next, let's try to draw yung boat. This is a simple boat. Huwag niyong isipin na kung ano siya. It's a boat. It has a dark space dito sa baba, like that. And then it has that word, parang Shane yung nakasulat. You just write it down. Okay lang yun. Next, you have yung wooden plank sa dulo, here. There. Okay. So may wooden plank sa dulo, like that. Tapos, meron tayong mga support dun sa wooden planks, pababa. Okay, like that. Diba? Ang dali lang palang gumawa ng wooden planks. Tapos meron pa siya kaagad na texture. Next, let's try to do a scribbling motion to imitate yung part na to, the foliage. Okay? So, from here, let's just do that scribbling line like that. It is a little bit lighter. Pag nakita nyo dyan. 1, kaya ito yung ginilagay natin. Dito sa part na to, ito yung nasa unahan, tapos sa likod niya yung halaman. So here, we will try to add yung lines like this. Mas rough yung itsura ng bato. Kasi pag nakita nyo, rough siya. There. Saka tayo maglalagay ng scribbling lines. All of the things na nasa malayo should have mas maliliit na lines and details like this in comparison to those things that are nearer to you. So, again, walang magagalit sa inyo. Huwag niyong bibilangin yung mga dahon, huwag niyong bibilang. Isipin niyo lang na scribbles lang sila like this. Okay? So, next one is this pile of rock. So, let's just draw yung rock na yan there. And then we also have lots of foliage over here. Again, hindi kailangang bilangin yung mga dahon. You just want your hands to play around doon. You just think of them as bunch of scribbles. Huwag niyong isipin na mga dahon yan na ilang libong dahon. That's one trick. Okay? Then you have here another scribbled part there. Okay? And then, lastly, you have yung nasa taas over there. Okay. Diba? So you already have most of the space here. Now we will be using yung ating hatching na strokes. So, let's start with this part dito. Unang part ng bato, I cut this part, ito, papunta dito sa baba. Now, let's try to do yung hatching. So, it's just a way. Since the stone is actually dark, you can do yung hatching like this. So, hanapin nyo yung shadow dun sa bato. And iiwasan nyo yung scribble na nandito para lumabas pa rin siya like that. That's the first part of the rock. Next, let's find the next shape here. Oops, meron tayong nakalawit doon na parang tree trunk. So, lagay din natin yun. Here. There. Tapos tuloy tayo ngayon dito. Papunta sa taas. Tapos dun sa baba. Yan. Hatching tayo ulit. So this is a continuous process. Feel free to use a thinner micron if you have. If you have yung mga 0.1, if you like drawing with a thinner pen. If you want to draw with a pen na iba yung color, Pigma Micron has several colors for you to choose from. So, pwede din yun. At least for this session, we'll be using black kasi it's one of the most recognizable dun sa screen. Okay? See? Next is this one. So, ito siya. Dark. And then you'll see yung lines over here. So, puro hatching lang yung ginagawa natin at the moment. To differentiate yung mga layers ng rocks, you want yung hatching na meron siyang iniiwan ng mga lighter space like this. So, hindi lahat nung hatching ay puno. You'll try to add another layer of hatching dyan to provide yung value at least here. Pero more than often, it's up to you if you want to add more or less. Especially if you're sketching in this location. Kasi kung tourist spot yung location na dinodrawing nyo, malamang you need to move forward ng mas mabilis. Pero if you have the leisure of being in that spot for a longer period of time, please feel free to do so kasi it changes yung sketch. The longer you sketch there, mas nakikita nyo yung details nung space. So we'll be doing this rock here. Hatching pa din tayo. There. This is one of my favorite medium pen kasi it gives you yung maraming details and information pero very simple lang yung medium. Wala siyang kailangang ibang bagay. And then here, you can see, merong mga nasa ilalim na super dark. So when you're doing sketches like this, what you want is to make the darkest part of the scene very dark, and then the lightest part of the scene very light. That is creating a good contrast like this. May shadow yung plank na lumampas. Ito yung shadow nito. Okay? So, dito din, papansin nyo, may shadow din yung mga planks na yon kasi planks. Kasi yung planks na yon ay naka-submerge sa ilalim. So, let's put some lines. So, there. Okay? Now, eto namang mga halaman, I'll just add more here. Kasi ito yung dark. Halaman natin, like this, if super dark na nung ating background, mapapansin nyo, minsan hindi na natin kailangan lagyan ng detail. Pero in this case, you can add small leaves just to suggest the detail. So you're suggesting a part of the detail, pero hindi kailangan na lahat talagyan yun ng leaves. So here, mas malayo na siya. You can just add a few scribbles along the way here. Dito merong maliit na tree trunks na naman dyan. Ayan. Mas lalagay lang tayo ng konting scribbling motion dyan. Okay? Then here, papansin nyo, mas dark doon sa gitna na yun. So we can add yung ating lines like this on that part. At the same time, meron tayong dark na mga bato doon. So we can also add yung ating hatching lines doon sa side na yun. It's farthest sa atin. Ayan. Now, you can use a smaller pen. Depende sa inyo. Pero more or less, ito na yung ating. Tapos you can add yung mga tao dito sa dulo. Gawin nyo lang silang parang isipin nyo yung mga tao, parang carrot lang sila na merong kamay. Ayan. Nice and shape. Like that. Ngayon, we need to differentiate yung very light part doon sa ibang parts. I'll be adding more lines doon sa ating drawing. Pero, mas magkakalayo siya para lighter siyang tingnan. So, example here. I can do this. This is a very light pressure doon sa pen. So, halos, my pen is actually parang dumadaan ng sobrang bilis doon sa papel. Can you see that? My 0.5 tends to be parang 0.1. You can do that with a Pigma Micron, depending on the pressure that you give dun sa paper, like this. So I'm actually adjusting yung value nung pen work ko there. You can also do that here. Okay? Now, to differentiate yung makikita natin dito na water, we can do a hatching stroke na pa horizontal naman. Okay? So from here, I can do yung horizontal strokes like that to suggest yung water. So pag nakikita nyo yung water dito, ano siya, hindi siya dire-diretso. So you have a shadow here. Pag shadow, mas magkakalapit yung line like this. Pag dito sa malayo, dito papansin nyo, darker yung sa kabilang side, lighter dito. Just use yung line like this to suggest yung water. So, hindi kailangan na sobrang i-drawing nyo yung lahat nung nangyayari. Kasi this is a sketch. You just want them to know things like this. Tapos dito dapat dark to. So, we can add more. Another batch of hatching lines. Like that. Okay. Over here. So, that's our first sketch for today. Without using anything. Ito pala, dark pa natin to. So it's up to you on kung gaano kadaming lines. Kung gusto nyo ng mas maliliit na line, you can add colors by using yung brush pens, pag marami kayong brush pen sa bahay. Or you can use it as is. Tapos lagay nyo lang siya kung ano siya. Coron, Palawan. Tapos lagay nyo yung date, kunyari. It's May 15. Tapos you put something about the space or the place. Like that. You can even use yung this one to map yung ating drawing. Like that. Okay, so yan yung isa sa simple way on how to create an image from a scene by using shapes at first and then trying to recognize kung saan yung placement ng mga shapes. Right after, you differentiate what is nearer and far. Usually the darker values goes first. And then you want to differentiate yung darkest dark parts of the picture and the lightest light para makita nyo yung overall view niya. Like this one. Okay. Kamusta? Okay ba kayo? Kamusta? Okay pa ba? Okay. Okay. So, we'll proceed with the second one para madami tayong today. Okay? So, let's try to check a scene na medyo ayan, halimbawa ito, naglalakad kayo sa Batanes. Okay? After nyo magpalawan, you decided to go to Batanes, like this one. And then you see this scene. Yan yung bahay na bato nila. Now, how do you capture an image like this? Usually, pag urban sketching, it requires you to get a part of nature dun sa space. And kadalasan, meron siya dapat na man-made structure. Yung kanina, ang man-made structure natin dun sa space, yung wood planks na daanan. In this case, ang man-made natin na structure dito, itong bahay. Tapos karamihan puro natural things na. It's up to you on how you do this. Pag nakita nyo, ang laki naman ng space dun sa taas, pwede tayong mag-crop actually. So, ibig sabihin lang nun, pwede nating i-adjust yung image kung ano lang yung gusto nating i-drawing like this. Pero huwag niyo masyadong eksaktuhin yung mga bagay. So, one good thing to look forward to pag nag-check kayo ng gusto yung i-drawing is a good shadow. This one has very dark, very light, mid-tones. So, maganda siyang i-drawing kasi halos kumpleto yung space. So, I'll show you how to transfer this on paper here. So, first, we'll be doing naman a landscape orientation of a sketch like this. There. Ayan. Kung meron kayong mga tanong, you can type it down there. Tapos we'll have a short, quick break para pwede nyong itanong yung mga bagay-bagay. Oo. Okay. So, ito yung ating space corresponding to the image here. Ito madali lang pag inisip nyo. Kasi bahay siya eh. So, ano ba yung kailangan natin sa bahay? So, we can see, pwede nating hatiin yung ating canvas or yung surface natin dito into same, 4, like that. Papansin natin yung taas niya. Madali lang yan. Ano lang yan? Scribbling dito na line. Diba? Like that. Tapos next natin na gagawin, nasa ang part nung picture yung bahay. So from dito sa kabila, almost center dito. Dito siya nag-end. Sa kabilang side, mas malapit siya dun sa background. Coming from below, mapapansin nyo, almost nandito siya sa half. Tapos dun sa taas, dapat nasa ilalim siya nung ginawa mong scribble na yon. So, dito siya. Dapat yung bahay nyo nandito sa space na to. So, yun muna. Placement ng ating subject. So, yung bahay natin, nakita na natin nandito siya. Next natin na gagawin, ano yung major shape na nakikita natin dun sa bahay? So, the first shape that comes into mind when you see something like this is a square na medyo naka-distort. May usual distortion that happens whenever you view something. Nag-automatic perspective yung tingin natin. So, mas lumiliit yung shape, nagkakaroon ng vanishing, usually pag mas malayo, in comparison to when you view things na upfront. So, in this case, ang idodrawing natin is yung bahay na ito. So, instead of drawing it this way, napansin nyo, yung drawing ay naka-distort. So, mapapansin nyo na yung bahay, yung ilalim niya especially, medyo merong distortion na papunta doon. So, ang magiging drawing natin instead of this would be something similar to this. Kasi, nagkaroon ng perspective effect doon sa picture. So, ito yung gagawin natin dito sa side na ito. Instead na diretso, magkakat tayo ng konti papunta doon. Yan. Papunta dyan sa ating line na yan. Okay. There. Okay? Now, papansin nyo, on the kabilang side, on the other side, halo-halo na. On the other side, kung ito, nagbe-bend siya papunta doon, yung kabila, magbe-bend din ng konti papunta doon. So, may cut din tayo dito na konti. Like that. And the same way, you can see meron ding cut ng konti yung taas. So, naging slanted siya ng konti. Okay? Ito, papansin natin medyo pataas. Parang mababa yung drawing natin. So, pwedeng itaas natin yan dyan. Okay lang naman yun. Drawing nyo naman yun. Okay? Next, may line tayo ng bubong dito sa taas. Same. Papunta doon. Sa baba. Here. Okay. So, ayan na yung ating bahay. A little, wait. I'll just adjust yung sketch. Dapat mas mataas yung bubong ng konti. Like that. So, pag nakita niyo ako mag-sketch sa totoong buhay, ganyan siya. Magulo. Pasayaan niyo lang yun. Nakita niyo kanina, hindi naman natin binura. Pero okay lang. So, with this kind of sketching, pwedeng mag-start kayo with pen. Example, this one. Let's try to add yung dark values doon sa ating drawing. Kasi ito medyo madali lang. Okay? So, papansin nyo lang na, ito pala, dapat nagpas ng konti yung bubong ko. Like this. Tapos, I have 1, 2, and 3 na bintana doon. Dito sa kabila, meron tayong pintuan. Tapos, dito sa kabila, meron pang isa pang bahay. Nandun sa likod. At meron pa palang bisikleta dito. So, gawin lang natin yung gulong ng bisikleta dyan. Then you have this shadow here. Shadow here. Meron tayong mga halaman dito. And then you'll have another set of things here na parang shadow. A big bulk of shadow here. Poste dito. Meron tayo ditong puno ng... Anong puno to? Puno ng nyog. May puno din dito sa kabilang side. Puro puno. Okay? Pag nakita nyo siya, eto na yung ating sketch nitong lugar na to. Di ba madali lang? Okay? So I'm trying to do this in a way where you can see how an image develops. Kasi when you're urban sketching, especially pag nandun na kayo sa labas, medyo mabilis ang mga pangyayari. Pwedeng 15-20 minutes lang kayo nandun, tapos you can do things very fast. Tapos ang kailangan nyo lang makuha talaga dun sa scene would be yung essence niya. Okay? So, I'm using a gray, yung ating gray na coloring brush. We'll be using it first for this scene ng walang water as is. So, we just want yung shadow to be placed. So, I'll be getting yung shadow here, line, there. And then you have yung shadow follow through dun sa ilalim, here. Yung pinto, nag-iwan lang ng konting puti for that light there. So meron na tayong shadow ng pinto. Next natin, line dito. You can use this na linear, saka may point. Next is yung nandito sa baba. Mapapansin nyo, may shadow dito. Shadow, bago yung pintana. Line muna tayo. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Di ba? Ang dali lang. Line, 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 line. So, yan yung dark na part ng ating bahay. Di ba mukha na siya kagad bahay? Nilagay pa lang natin yung shadow. Ganun ka-importante yung shadow. On this side, you can see, meron din yung shadow. Pero hindi ko alam kung anong bagay yon. Just gayahin nyo lang yung shape. Shape, shape, shape. Drawing is similar to dapat may courage ka to do it. Nang walang takot. Okay? So, let's do yung mga foliage dito, shadow. You can be more artistic about it. You can add yung line, ganyan. Since it's a brush pen, you can do yung foliage mas madali kaysa yung kanina, like this. Scribble nyo lang siya. Lahat ng ginawa natin kanina na pwedeng gawin sa micron, you can do that sa brush pen. Foliage here and there. Ayan. So you have yung mga foliage dun sa isang side. If you want balance, pwede kayo magdagdag sa kabila. May konting halaman dun. Minimal kasi dun yung dark. Okay? Next, na dark natin dito is yung puno. Yung puno ng nyog. So, pansin nyo, ang puno ng nyog, isa siya sa very recognizable na shape. Kasi you can add yung line, tapos lalagyan mo lang siya ng mga additional na dahon like this. Diba? May puno ka na kaagad ng nyug doon. Okay? And then you see here, merong very dark patch of shadow. So, I'll be putting that dark patch here. Kahit na hindi ko alam kung ano siya. Kasi it's probably a very hot day. Just put the dark patch of things over there. Merong dark na mga bagay dyan sa side na yan. You usually can do this pag nag-squint kayo outside, especially. Yung makikita nyo yung mga dark and light. So this is a quick way on how to create yung shadows. Tapos saka natin ngayon lalagyan ng details sa pen. Okay? Next. Una nating detail. Makikita nyo. This is a very light patch of land here. Yung walang damo. So let's try to imitate yung shape nung patch na yun. Like this. There. One. Next natin na gagawin ay ilagay ang bisikleta. Ano ba yung itsura ng bisikleta? Merong dalawang gulong. Isa. Yung isang nakapaling doon sa kabila. Konektado yan dito. May linya dyan. Lagyan ng upuan. Konekta doon sa gitna. Manibela. Bisikleta. Yan. Hindi kailangan na eksakto yung bisikleta. Pero if you like yung very precise na bisikleta, you can do so. Pero usually, pag urban sketching, mabilis lang. You get the impressions of things. Okay? Next natin. Itong nasa taas, here, it's hindi siya perfect na line. So, you do that also. Hanggang dito sa gilid. And then, papansin nyo yung ibabaw, this one. There. Meron siyang hati-hati na maliliit. So, we do that also here. Line. Then, we cut them like this. Okay. And then, meron siyang mga lines in between. Like that. in this space. Now, we'll be adding texture. Okay? So, before that, let's just add yung mga pintana. Like this. Okay? And then there's another line. Yung pinaka-frame ng mga bintana nila. There. And then, we'll be adding yung texture para makita ng mga titingin ng drawing natin yung visual na texture nung lugar na yon. So first is yung pawid sa bubong. So yung pawid, usually ay lines lang siya na naka-hatching like this one. So feel free to do this. It's up to you kung mas madami, mas konti. Gusto nyo lahat lagyan nyo yan, pwede din yun. Hanggang dito siya sa baba. Pwede din na yung ibang parts hindi nyo lagyan. So pwedeng suggestion lang siya nung texture like this. Pero for this case, I'll add more kasi gusto ko yung texture ng pawid. So these are just hatching lines in an angle. Like here. So this is batong bahay sa Batanes. Again, if you're doing an urban sketch, hindi kailangan na bilang yung lahat ng detalye. Pwera na lang kung yun yung kilalang bagay dun sa pinuntahan yung lugar. Kunyari, alam na itong building na dinrawing nyo ay famous for its 3 stories. Ginawa nyong 2. Mamamali yung urban sketching nun. Kasi as much as possible, when you urban sketch, it should be recognizable. Lalo na kung meron siyang recognizable parts or recognizable features. Ayan siya. Okay? Now, etong baba niya is a pile of stones put together. Patong-patong ng mga bato. So, ang gagawin niyo lang, gagawa lang kayo ng mga bato. Bilog, iba-ibang shape like this. Iba-iba yung shape, may maliit, may malaki, may irregular, like that. And then, isipin nyo para lang kayo yung naggagawa ng bahay. And then, pinagpapatong-patong nyo sila. Like this. Okay? Again, hindi nyo siya kailangan gawin ng buo, lahat mo ganun. Yung ibang part, kung gusto nyo, i-scribble nyo lang. Pero minsan kasi, pag naggagawa tayo ng sketch, na-appreciate nung tumitingin pag nakita nila na, ang galing, would realize the amount of work that you put there to mimic the actual texture into an implied texture. Tapos you also add yung mga bato dun sa shadow na ginawa natin kanina. Like that. Okay. And then you'll see here, dun sa side, yung biga dito, may mga hati-hati siyang maliliit like this. And dun sa taas, parang meron siyang mga lines like that. The same way, etong gilid na to, puno din siya ng bato. So let's try to add yung mga bato din dito sa side na to. So what's good with adding first yung value, yung shadow before you start? This is darker. Kaya nilagay ko na kaagad yung dark. What's good about it is meron na kayo kaagad ng actual form ng bagay. It makes everything easier pag nagdo-drawing kayo, tapos ilalagay nyo na lang yung mga texture. So yung layers ng texture, they try to help each other dun sa drawing like this. Diba? Tapos from this side, you can see here, etong mga side na to, puro bato din siya. Patong-patong na bato. So mas malayo yung object, usually mas maliliit yung detalye. Either super liit for you to see it, or pag kinompare mo siya dun sa nandito sa unahan, hindi siya halos makita ng ganun ka sharp. Ito yung maliit na poste dun sa dulo. Okay. And then, you have here on this side yung isang bahay that we have here. From this side, since secondary lang siya, pwede natin siyang i-hatch lang. Kasi secondary lang naman siya dun sa drawing. It's not very important. Yan. Okay? And then, you do add yung details. Example dun sa puno natin kanina, this one, yung puno ng nyog line. So when you do kanina yung gray, it added another layer of depth doon sa drawing. Pag naisip ko, paano nyo ba ginawa yung nyog? Ganito lang po siya. You do this, line, 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 line. Mga lines lang siyang ganyan. Tapos you add yung kanyang dahon pababa, like this. Diba? It's one of the nicest things about brush pen. They give you yung thick and thin kaagad. Diba? Yan ang isa sa pinaka-paborito kong punong i-drawing kasi sobrang, kahit paano mo siya i-drawing, nare-recognize siya ng ibang tao. Na, ang galing may puno ka pa ng nyog. Parang ganun. Next natin, we add yung scribble sa likod here to mean yung ating mga puno sa likod. Okay? There. Yan. And then yung ating taas here. Okay. There. Meron tayo dyang mga puno. If you want, you can add lines like this, hatching, para ma-differentiate siya dun sa ibang space. Like that. And this. Now, how do I know that this would work and not work? I don't. My suggestion for you is when you are drawing, doing this, just do it and learn from it. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. What you want to do is to just go with it. Gawin nyo yung gusto nyo. This one is a very dark space, so you can even add lines here to make it appear a little more darker than the other gray parts we already did. Magandang ipang drawing to magkasama, yung Pigma Micron saka yung brush pens. They complement each other so well. Now, this part, lalagyan natin siya ng damo. So, yung damo natin, pwedeng kamukha nito yung approach, lines lang na ganyan. Or pwede din na maglagay lang kayo ng impression na, may damo doon, maliliit, like this. Parang may maliliit na ganyan. Kaya lang it would be too light here. So I decided to add lines then like dun sa likod. Like that. Here. Pag nag-sketch kayo, don't think too much about dun sa sketch. What you want is to capture the image, the forms there, as fast as possible. So this road, papunta siya dito. So you add mga lines naman dito. Okay. Here. There. Okay. Now, with this, let's use yung blue natin na line. Let's just color yung sky para makita nyo how it's being used. Diba? May instant sky ka kaagad when you use yung blue as is. There. What's good with this is that you have also yung brown here. You can even put yung brown na konti dito. Pwedeng wag mong kulayan lahat like that. Here. Yeah. There you go. And so we have a quick sketch of the image on this side. So lalagay natin dito ay Batanes. Batanes Stonehouse. May 15. Yeah. Usually maganda yan pag nag-journal kayo. Lagay nyo sa journal nyo yan. You can even darken yung color. Like example this. You can darken it again by applying another layer of the same color. Pwede din yun. Like this. See? Mas nagda-darken yung color when you apply another layer of the same pen. Like that. Here. Okay? There you go. Okay. So, let's try to, for these two things that we did today. Ayan, so I think we can entertain questions. Can you, any one of you, meron ba kayong tanong so far dun sa first part ng ating workshop? Meron ba kayong tanong before we proceed with using it similar to a watercolor? Let's try to check yung ating chat box here. Wow. Sir Ian. Ay, sorry Hindi ko nakita yung tanong na yun. Hi, Sir Ian. Which side of the watercolor paper do we use? The smooth side or the textured side? Rough side usually. Pero ano siya, depende sa inyo. Pero usually kasi when you have watercolor, yung rough side ng paper, it absorbs yung water ng mas mabilis. Mas mabilis siya matuyo kaysa dun sa makinis na side. So meron ba kayong major na question so far? Kamusta? Nasabayan nyo ba ang ating dalawang in-sketch today? Let's give 15 na mga 5 minutes na parang quick break on how do you think yung ating first part of the session. Hala, mga mahiyain ang ating participants today. Okay, mahiya. You can raise your hand if you have questions. This is the 5-minute break before we proceed with the mas challenging na part ng ating workshop. So the first thing that we did again, this one is more on organic shape siya. Organic things are actually easier to do. It's with architectural detail na madali lang, more on parallel lines. The second one, the focus especially is on naman, we incorporated yung brush pen dun sa sketch, which created the depth and value of the sketch easier. Mas madaling maglagay kasi ng depth saka value pag merong ibang kulay. Wala po kayong tanong? Pag wala po kayong tanong, we'll proceed with the third one. Okay? Okay, so let's proceed with the third one. Going back here. Okay, so let's have a view. Okay, so let's try to check images here. Ito yung aming bayan ng Malabon. Okay, let's try to do this with the watercolor. This is sa Intramuros sa Manila. Okay, we'll be using yung watercolor paper for this. Use the rough part here. Okay. Ayan siya. Here. Okay. So, i-check natin ulit. So, what is it in the picture na nakikita natin? So, from here, it's less sky because most of it is reflected doon sa lower part ng tubig. We have the fortress walls here. Distant buildings over there. Meron tayong foliage. May mga dahon saka puno sa likod. You also have this lilies and lotus dun sa baba na circular. So more than often, when you are faced with objects like this, na pag tinignan nyo siya, it's a little bit hard to imagine how to draw it. The only thing I would say to you is to break it down into smaller things and easier things that you could draw. Okay? So, let's try to do it. And wait, I'll put it in an angle para kita nyo siya. Okay. Ayan. Wait. I'll just do it side by side. Unti-unti. Okay. So, una, we draw it ng, we have a nice line over here. Kasi rectangular yung ating i-drawing. If you're using the postcard, feel free to use it na kahit di nyo na isulat. Ito kasi para I can draw things, saka magkaroon ako ng annotations dun sa magkakabilang side. Now, check yung image here. Yung upper part niya, saka yung lower part in half. And then yung upper, yung left side, leftmost, and then yung left, dun sa left niya sa kabila, 4. So, divide natin ulit sa 4 yung paper natin, like this. Okay? Now, ano yung pinaka nagko-connect doon sa buong picture? So, makikita na dito, may perspective na naman. Kasi, naka-slant lahat ng space dito. Tapos may slanting din doon sa kabilang side here. So, makikita nyo siya. May slant doon, may slant papunta doon, may slant pa ganyan, saka slant pa ganun. Pag nagkakaroon ng mga slanting lines kayo na nakikita in a space, usually affected siya ng perspective doon sa view. Ganun talaga yun. Wala tayong magagawa about it. So the only way you can see an architectural form na merong mga straight lines na ganyan, na magpaparallel siya doon sa horizon, is if you took a picture or if you have a view na directly na nakatingin ka sa kanya na very straight. Okay? So when you view it from an angle, either a 3/4 or another view, magkakaroon talaga ng tilting doon sa mga lines. Pero that's what makes yung picture or yung sketch mas interesting. Kasi nagkakaroon ng tilting dun sa space. Okay? So, let's start with this one. Ang unang ilalagay natin sa ating drawing ay yung line na nandun sa taas. This one. Yung slight na line na yan, papunta doon sa kabila. This first line. Tapos wag nyo munang isipin lahat ng bagay. Next is the other line na to. This one, papunta naman doon sa kabila. This one. Okay. Ayan siya. I'm using a pencil. This is a pencil that's included sa Centangle ng Sakura. You can get it sa I think you can get it sa SM Stationery. It's a good set. Pero kung may lapis kayo, okay lang naman kahit anong lapis yung gamitin niyo. Next one. Pag nakita niyo siya, meron line doon. May line pa ulit dito. A little bit on the center of the first quadrant going dun sa kabila, a little lower here. So para lang tayong connect the dots. May line din doon papunta. Okay. Ayan yun. So meron tayong line dito sa taas, papunta sa kabila, dito, may space. And then isang line papunta dito sa isang side. Okay. A little bit here, you draw a line dyan. Yung tuldok na yan, here, papunta doon. Ito, papunta naman dito sa kabila. Okay. So after you doing this, na-drawing na natin almost lahat ng kailangan natin na major lines dun sa sketch na to. Kailangan na lang nating i-place itong image. Which side po para sa watercolor sketch? Rough or smooth? Doon po tayo sa rough para mabilis matuyo. Pero pwede din yung kabila. Either or. Okay? Depende actually yung paggamit ng watercolor paper sa preference ng gumagamit. Especially if you have already used the paper, you'll realize na sometimes itong watercolor paper na to gusto nyo doon sa smooth side. Pag mas marami yung lines na gagawin nyo with pen, mas maganda kung sa smooth side kayo. If less, doon kayo sa kabilang side. Either or, okay lang yan. So here, meron tayo ditong architectural feature. Pag naisip nyo, ano ba yan? Ang hirap i-drawing noon. Isipin nyo lang, square siya, na merong triangle. Parang bahay ulit. Okay? Yun na yun. Tapos, baba natin dito. Ayan, pag ganyan siya. Tapos, wag muna natin siyang isipin. Tapos, meron ditong maliit na sign. Diba? Diyan nakalagay yung this place is ganyan, ganyan. And, meron tayo ditong isang maliit na Lamppost. Diba? Ayan na siya. There. Dito sa side na to, may cut siya. Here. Tapos nag-bend pa ng konti yung line. One big tree over here. Another one over here. May konting lumabas na puno doon sa isang side. Then you have buildings dito sa side na to. You can even omit yung ibang buildings sa likod kasi hindi naman siya kailangan. Trees, trees. Huwag nating ilagay yung buildings. Pwede yun. Kasi nasa ano naman yan. Background. Para focus yung attention dun sa ating drawing ng intramuros na ano. Next. This part, yung mga arch. So, may 4 na arch dito. Yung isa kalahati lang. Kalahati. We'll divide it into half and then into half ulit. Para ma-place natin yung mga arch ng maayos. So, nasa half siya. Isa, dalawa. You can add this line. Isa pang line dito para alam niyo kung gaano kataas. Tatlo. There. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Tapos itong isa nandun sa dulo. Ayan. Tapos yan, yung taas nito, merong kaunting nakausli na mas mataas. This part hanggang dito. Nakaangat siya ng konti. Okay. Ito yung ating magiging major sketch. Okay? Now, pagkalagay nyo nito, okay na tayo. So you have yung space na to. Sa gitna niya, you have yung archway here. Curve dito. Ayan. Curve na yan, pag nakita nyo, dun sa taas ng curve na yon, merong ayan, rectangular space. Dito sa kabila nito, kita nyo, when you actually look at a picture, lalo na kung nandun kayo sa space na to, mas marirealize nyo na, the image is being drawn right in front of you. May dalawang column sa gilid. Then you have here yung mga design ng column doon. Line, line. Here. May patusok dun sa kabila, saka patusok sa taas. Okay. Ito, papunta doon. Ayan. Line. Line. There. Dito, pag nakita nyo, yung shadow papunta doon. We can do the first thing here. We can do yung ating brush pen. Agad. Wait. Cut natin to. This one, may line dito, konti. Ayan. Nag-add sila ng ano. So makikita nyo ngayon, halimbawa ito, I'm viewing this picture again differently kasi ngayon ko lang siya i-drawing. Parang nagpataas sila ng konti ng wall kasi merong part dito na parang iba yung color ng line. Parang addition lang siya dun sa taas. Parang pinataasan nila yung wall ng isa pa. Okay. So, first thing we need to do is to get yung ating coloring koi brush pen. And then let's just put yung darks. Kasi, mas exciting yun. Okay? So, let's try to put yung darks here. Half na to. So, huwag kayo matakot. Just color in yung dark. Kasi napansin nyo kanina, mas madaling mag-sketch pala pag nilagay ka agad yung shadow. In this case, the shadow is malaki. There. Here. Tapos nag-flow yung shadow papunta dun sa side na yun. Over there. Tapos dito sa taas, may shadow din. I'm just leaving yung small space na yun para maalala ko na dun pala yung parang may part that there's a part of the wall as if na dinagdagan lang siya. There. Okay? I'll be doing the same thing dun sa kabila. But syempre, iiwanan natin itong historical marker part. And iikutan lang natin itong ating lamp post like this. Saka natin buburahin para makita nyo yung lamp post. Ayan. O, diba? Para pag nilagay natin ngayon yung dark natin dito, parang kitang-kita pa rin natin yung lamp post sa likod. There. If you're using the Sakura Koi brush pens, don't allow it na matagal na nakadikit doon sa papel kasi continuous yung flow ng ink noon, yung malalamog masyado yung inyong papel. So when you can see here, parang 'di ba, ang swift lang nung aking paggamit sa kanya. Mabilis, medyo mabilis. Okay. Now, gagawin natin ngayon yung dark shadow dito sa baba. So may shadow din dito. Napunta doon, saka dito sa kaliwa. Ito kasi yung maganda when you sketch this way, na practice ka on how to check yung shadows. In this case, I'll be using this, yung shadow no mga arch doon. Here, 1, 2, 3, and another one here. After nyan, there would be another line here. There. Tapos, mapapansin nyo, dark pala yung shadow doon sa side na yun with a little bit of light. So, I'm also adding yung shadow dito. Okay. There. Diba? Pag nakita nyo, hala, tapos na natin kaagad. Ang bilis, diba? Basta ang mahalaga, isipin nyo lang, i-place natin yung mga details. Then right after, you do the shadows. Tapos here, when you look at it here dito sa baba, may reflection siya. Medyo tricky yun. Paano natin siya gagawin? Okay, let's map yung reflection dun sa water. First, dun sa baba, dito, papunta almost here. We will be extending this line that we did kanina. Ito, extend nyo lang yung line nito dito sa baba. Ito yun. And then we will be doing this. Ito. Diyan, papunta dun sa kabila. There. Ayan yung ating reflection dun sa baba. Yung ating lamp post, kita siya dito, saka yung ibang trees. Okay? Okay? Kaya ba ng ating ano? Now, we'll try to use the coloring brush pen as a watercolor. So, yung gray natin dito sa baba, I'll just put it in a mixing plate. Paano na yan? Wala kaming mixing plate. Ganun. Pwedeng kahit anong plastic surface. You can even use yung, para makita nyo, na maraming spaces na pwedeng paggamitan. Example, meron kayong binili na something, kahit yung plastic, kahit anong plastic, kahit yung ruler na plastic, you can use that. Here, halimbawa, ito siya, pwedeng gamitin nyo tong likod ng brush pen ng lalagyanan. Ayan siya. Okay. Kasi just get a little bit of water. Add doon sa paint na yan. And then we'll just do a quick paint over dito sa baba. Light lang. Just for us to remember na ito ay shadow. Very light. Shadow, 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 shadow. Shadow. Here. There. Napansin nyo? Kasi nag-add tayo ng water, naging dark, naging lighter yung color nung pagka-gray niya. This is what I want, what I like about this pens. You can alter yung kanyang value just by adding a little bit of water. There. Pag may ganyan kayong part, syempre, hindi nyo muna siya gagalawin. Hayaan lang natin matuyo yung part na yan. Nilagay ko lang siya para makita nyo kaagad yung strength nung ating value study here. Okay? Next, we will be adding, mapapansin nyo pag naglagay tayo nun, parang nag-lighten up na yung ano. So, okay yon. Ngayon, gagamitin naman natin yung ating micron ulit. This one. So, dahil magaling na tayo kanina, nag-practice na tayo kung paano gumawa ng puno, gagawa tayo dito ulit ng puno using yung ating mahiwagang technique, yung ating scribbling technique. So, pag inisip nyo, paano gagawa ng puno? I-scribble nyo lang siya like this. This is a mas scribbling na effect. So, scribble nyo lang yung puno dyan. Kasi malaki siya eh. Scribble, 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 scribble. Like that. Yan. So, yan yung isa nating puno. Paano kung ngayon ida-darken yung puno na ganyan? You scribble again over. Kasi mas dark dito sa side na to, di ba? So, you scribble over that part. So, mas maraming layers, mas darker yung pagka-scribble, especially in this part. Okay? Here. There you go. Ayan. So, yung gilid niya, lagdagan nyo lang ng mas scribble na parts. So, may puno na tayo dito sa isang side. There. Diba, ang dali lang? Sa isipin nyo pag may ginagawa kayong ito, o diba, ang dali lang? Kayang-kaya. You always tell that to yourself. It makes everything different when you tell yourself that you can do something. Okay, next one. It's another tree, pero iba yung itsura niya. So, ibahin natin yung itsura niya din dito para meron siyang visual difference. So, pwedeng yung isa mas lighter naman siya ng konti. Scribbled lang siya like this. Para katabi siya noon. Do this dun sa kabilang side. Like that. Ginagawa natin to para habang natutuyo yung nasa baba. Okay. There. And then we add some trees, details dito sa kabilang side. Yung mga lumampas dun sa camera view, mga lumampas sa ating view. Ayan. There. Yung nag-reflect dito sa baba. Okay. Now, ano na yung kasunod na gagawin natin? Gawin muna natin itong line na to. Okay? So let's try to do this line. So this line here is yung kabilang side doon sa kabilang side. Ang gulo, diba? Kabilang side sa kabilang side. So from here, dito, there's a line. Ito siya. Yung line na yan. Yan yung part na medyo reddish yung kulay ng bato. Diyan. Okay? Ito naman, itong part na to, ibang wall na to, saka ito. Pero halos magkakulay sila. Diyan. Meron din siya ditong mga part na parang dinagdag. Like that. Okay? Etong part na to, this upper part here is a little bit curved. So, line lang natin to. This one. And then another line here. See, my lines aren't even perfect. Okay lang yan. There. Now, line dito. Then you also have this line here. This one. Ito yung curve line dito sa side nito. There. Same line dito sa taas ng kabila. Let's just put lines dyan para makita nila na similar yun. Just line dito. Also have it dito sa kabila. Line. There. Okay? Next natin yung archway sa ilalim. So this one, line, line. Hindi ko siya ginagawang perfect para mas may effect. Kasi luma na tong structure, hindi naman siya perfectly nakaganon. Tapos we'll add another line doon, paikot sa mga ginawa natin na to. There. Kasi meron siyang mga stones paikot. Okay? So ang stones niya, nakaganyan. Minsan hindi rin pantay-pantay. Parang mga castle, niche. Yan. Okay? We'll do that for almost dun sa 4 na ginawa natin here. Dun sa kabila. I hope you're enjoying this session today. So we're almost done with this one. If you're finished with this, if you finish your works, either of the 3 things that we did today, iba't ibang approach, you can apply each and every approach dun sa kabila. So I'll just put yung line. Feel free to post it online and then tag SM Stationery, tag Sakura Art Philippines, and tag me also. Or send me a message so that I can see your work. Para makita ko kung meron kayong tanong na nahihiya kayong itanong at the moment, pwede niyo ring itanong siya. I suggest you you ask the question on IG nga pala. Mas madali kasi kung magsagot sa IG. Raven Fox 13. Ayan. So naglagay lang ako ng line and then I'll be putting lines din dito. So these lines are more or less parallel dun sa ating ginawang linya kanina. Tapos maglalagay tayo ngayon ng bricks. Ang kaibahan ng bricks dun sa kanina natin ginawa, yung bricks kasi, siya, salit-salit. So, example, you put yung line ng brick dyan, dito. Yung isa nasa taas, nasa gitna naman siya nung nasa ibaba. Okay? So, these are mostly made with adobe. It's a big building block. Ayan siya. Okay. More than often, ganyan siya. Hindi sila pantay-pantay, magkaka-alternate yung kanyang pagkakalagay. Parang yung hollow block sa bahay natin. Kaya lang ito, diretsong bato siya. Okay, so we'll do this. Alternating. Again, this pattern, pwedeng lahat ilagay nyo. Kung gusto nyo, bibilangin nyo yung mga bato. Mahirap yon. Kailangan lang natin when we're doing an urban sketch yung essence ng lugar. So you get yung feel na, ganun yung ginamit na material. Nasalit-salit siya na bricks like this. You also do this dun sa kabila. And then yung bricks natin pababa. Like this. Okay. There. And then meron din dito syempre sa kabila yun. I'll just write yung line dito. This one. Yung opposite na part nito. Line dyan. Okay. See, yung ginawa ko dito sa dulo, ginawa ko na lang siya na as is na kung ano-ano yung linya do. Kasi, nasuggest na natin yung texture dun sa isang side. So, understood na yung kabilang side, susundin niya rin yung same texture dito. Okay. Itong nasa malayo is the same bricks like this. Okay? So, we'll do the same thing, pero mas maliliit. Mas maninipis yung kanyang parallel line. Like that. Kasi, mas malayo siya kaysa dito sa nasa unahan. Okay? So, we'll do that. Tandaan, iiwasan natin yung marker. Ayun, hindi ko na iwasan. Okay lang yan. So, pag nag-search kayo online ng mga sketch na ganyan, especially yung ginagawa on the spot, hindi sila talaga perfect na lines. Kasi bihira yung ganun. Kasi imagine mo kung nandun ka mismo sa lugar na yun, maraming magtatanong sa'yo, may nanonood. Especially pag shy ka, pag may nanonood. Mahirap mag-urban sketch. Pag ganun. I hope you can practice yung urban sketching dyan sa lugar nyo, sa bahay nyo. Tingin kayo sa labas ng bintana, sketch yung nasa labas. Okay, now let's try to do this space. I'm just sketching yung form nung image from here. Major forms niya lang. Column, here on this side. Line, and then you have here yung parang seal ng intramuros, dyan. May seal dyan. Then you have here, meron siya ditong mga design. So yung design makikita nyo, scribbled na lang siya. Pwede yun. Kasi sinimplify natin. Pero you can still feel na merong design dun sa side. Next, yung major archway. Then you have here yung shadow that can be seen. There. And then you have here yung line, this line dito sa taas. And then this dark space here with gray. And then a connecting smaller archway on this side. Tapos yung parang pediment dito sa part na to. Triangular. Pag nakita nyo siya, pag mas marami palang linya na nilagay nyo, basta kung ano yung nakita nyo linya, you put it there. Mas nagmumukha pala siya talagang yun na yun. Oo. Actually, ganun siya talaga. Yan. O, diba? Ito ang ginawa pa lang natin dito, yung line dyan. I'll put a few na lines dito sa isang side. Here. There. Ito yung ating marker. To do this. Ayan. Yung nasa likod, kung gusto nyong i-drawing lahat yung mga bricks, feel free to do so. Pero ako, isa-suggest ko lang siya, especially dito sa part na nasa bandang unahan, para ma-feel nung napupunta. Hanggang dulo yun, puro bricks yun. Ganun yun. Pwede kayo mag-suggest ng texture like that. Now, I'll go back dun sa aking gray here. I'll just put it sa aking mixing plate. Pwede kayong gumamit ng platito. Actually, platito pinaka-okay. If you have platito sa bahay, just dedicate one platito that you can use for a mixing plate. Or if may mixing plate kayo, syempre, gamitin nyo yung mixing plate. No? Okay. Now, I'll be adding a value, especially here. So, dark dito sa side na to. Or you can also do this, since you also already seen na dark to, medyo dark dito, like that. Medyo dark sa side na yan. Pagkatapos, you use a wet brush directly. Ibasain nyo lang siya. Matutunaw din naman siya sa papel. Pero mas smooth kasi pag gumamit kayo ng mixing plate. Kasi some people, they mind yung lines. Ayaw nila na masyadong maraming linya dun sa drawing. Kaya hindi ko sinasuggest na idiretso. Again, if you add another color like this, same color dun sa mas magda-darken siya. So I'll be doing that here. Especially yung baba na part. Ayan. So papansin nyo, nagda-darken na ngayon yung kulay ng wall na gusto natin na mag-darken. I actually wanted this wall to be very dark in comparison with all of the spaces sa ating drawing. You can even add a dark, a gray dito sa puno, like that. Hindi lahat ng parts. Dark to, this part also. Diba? After this session, may isip nyo, nakapag-drawing ako ng part ng Intramuros. Just very, satisfying to know. Light part here. Dyan. And then, in this part, let's do this. Okay? Ang gagamitin natin dito na texture, para may texture siya, iba-blotch natin yung ating pen. Parang ganyan siya. Dadab-dab nyo siya dyan. Para hindi na tayo magdadagdag ng masyadong maraming texture. O, di ba? Nagkaroon ka agad siya ng automatic na texture. Dadab nyo lang yung brush nyo over here, dun sa side na to. Pati dito sa side na to. Dadab-dab nyo lang siya. Sayaan nyo lang siya matuyo. Now, this part should be, pag ganito siya, meron kayo ditong part na papunta doon. Ito lang yung dark. This part. May matitira dun sa kabilang side. Na medyo light. Like that. Diba? Nakaka-happy mag-drawing. Drawing is one of the, I'll do the same thing dun sa kabila ng wall. Drawing is one of the nicest thing you can do. Na hindi ka gumagamit ng mga iba't ibang mga gadget. You just need a pencil, a pen, and paper. You can already do many things with drawing. Again, this kit, I actually uh, planned this kit to be a starter kit for sketching. If ever you feel the need, I'm strengthening yung shadow. If ever you feel the need na, parang gusto ko super colored yung sketch, you can get yung Sakura Koi brush pen. They have it in 12 specialty packs. They have it in thematic colors. They also have it in 24 and 48 sets. If na in love naman kayo dun sa Pigma Micron, which is one of the my favorite pens of all time. Pigma Micron is one of my go-to whenever I sketch. Never failed me. Okay? So mapapansin nyo, ang galing, natapos na natin kaagad yung mismong ano. Meron tayo mga water lily dito. 'Di ba? Di lagay lang natin yung water lily, hindi lang siya kailangan na ano. So pag mapapansin nyo, ano lang naman siya, mga bilog-bilog na ganyan. So you do that. Patong nyo lang siya dyan. Tapos minsan may bulaklak nakalagay doon. Depende sa inyo kung gaano kadaming water lilies yung gusto nyo ilagay. Like this, you can do it with a pen, like this. Ganyan. Yan. Kung gusto nyo ilagay siya ng parang haphazard na meron kayong iba't ibang pens like this. Madami kasing water lily dyan. Bilog-bilog lang yan, mga ovals. Diyan. Lagay natin dito. Tapos, merong palang ano, yung reflection sa baba. O, lagay nyo din yung reflection konti. Ayan. 'Di ba? Hindi lahat kasi reflection lang siya. Reflection should be recognizable but it shouldn't take away from the main star ng inyong drawing. Okay? Mga ating bilog-bilog dito na lagay lang tayo ng mga dyan. You can even do that using this brush. Gray. Okay. Gray natin. Pwede nating ilagay yung ibang mga dahon using the brush. Actually, yung brush mas madali. Diba? You can add yung lines na yan. Here. And there. From here, I felt na I needed darker things. So, I'm adding more dark dito sa side. Ito. Darker dito. And of course, on some of the bricks, pwede nyong i-darken yung iba-isang parts na ganyan. Like this. It would make yung effect na mukha siya talagang adobe. Merong parts na dark, may light. Okay? Stipple nyo din yung ibang part. Stipple. Like example here. I'll use yung gray ulit here. And then, I'll color some of the bricks. Pwede kayo mamili kahit ano. Huwag lang masyadong magkakadikit. Like that. There. Okay, let's add more texture. Ito sa baba. Like this. Okay, and then, you can use yung blue, this blue. Let's create a sky for this. For the sky, we'll be doing a wet on wet technique. So wet on wet is wetting the paper first here. Yung sky part. This is just plain water. So you need it to be moist, but not dripping wet. Ayan. Okay, here. Tapos yan, you get yung blue, and then i-drop in natin siya, like this. Remember, yung blue yung sky, white yung clouds. I'll just put yung blue sa ibabaw and then add water dun sa ilalim, like this. You can do the same thing dun sa baba to reflect the upper clouds. It's a little bit darker. There. Can do this. And there's this happy, fascinating thing that happens whenever you use watercolor. Kasi sometimes, mapapansin nyo, kahit medyo beginner pa lang kayo, basta watercolor yung ginamit, may pagka-effect siya na artsy agad. Again, if you're doing this for the first time, tapos may lumampas na isang kulay, okay lang yun. Ito, I'll be adding yung blue dun sa ibang part. There. Okay, and then lastly, I'll just add more gray doon sa ating texture here, dito sa baba ng tubig. Kasi merong shadow dito sa baba. Okay, I can do this also. Pag nakita nyo siya, pwede din pala yung ganun. Kasi meron din naman na water lily na ibang part. So you can darken, lighten up things here. So, dark to eh. Yung reflection sa ilalim. Saka itong part na to. This should be a little darker. Kasi reflection siya nitong nasa taas. There. Pag nakukulangan kayo dun sa dark, you can add yung micron here. I'll be adding lines para mas mag-darken ito. Itong part na to na nasa ilalim ng mga arch, ng bridgeway here. Can always layer them together as long as tuyo na. Dapat tuyo na. You can even add basa pa, birds. Pag tuyo na. You can add mga nilipad na sa taas. Birds. Dito sa kabila, they have small things here pa. Okay. I'll just add here parang mga may punong maliliit pa pala doon. I just saw it. On this side. Scribbles lang siya. Diba? The power of scribbles. There you go. Then you can put your name, sign. This is Intramuros, Manila. 2021. So that's our fun and easy afternoon using all of these. You can use yung brown instead of the gray. Pero gray actually is the easier one to check yung visuals. So pag naisip nyo, ganun nyo lang pala ginawa yung mga ito. Ayan. So it's mostly lines first, then you add yung shadows. Last, usually ko nilalagay yung mga sky here. Ayan siya. So, patong-patong siya. It's several layers of colors and pigments. Ayun. So, kamusta po ang inyong mga gawa? Can you, please, I would invite everybody to at least check yung kanilang gawa. Can you show it to us using your camera? We'll have a picture taking. Okay. Magpa-picture taking po tayo with our work. I just needed to drink water. Ayan, let's see. Ayan, mag-ano na tayo, mag-touch up na tayo. Ayan. Nakikita ko na si Miss Angelique. Thank you for coming. Miss Leia. Nicole. Wow, that's good. Cadence, Riley. Hi, Karin. See, ang gagaling pala ng aking mga kasama today, Sai. Okay. B. I'm checking yung Grace, Margel, Kitty, CJ, Catherine, Sarah. Pag di ko nasabi yung pangalan nyo, pagpasensyahan nyo na malabo ang mata ni Teacher Ian. Marie, Michelle is here. Lala, hi Lala, Marilyn, Zoe. Ayan. So, ayan. Hold natin sa screen yung ating mga mga gawain. Ayan, para meron din tayong picture. Tapos the Sakura we'll take a picture of us together. Hi, Tio. So, ayan. As happy smiles. Ang gagaling pala ng aking mga participants today.
Ian, on your count, we'll take a screenshot on your count.
Okay, so isipin nyo yung mga gagandang bagay na nangyari sa buhay nyo. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Smile! Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Smile! Ayan. So, imagine sa ating workshop, meron tayong ginawang 3 bagay today. Now, let's do a quick question and answer thing. Nasaan si Miss Marilyn? Ayan. Hi everyone. Hi, thank you so much for joining us. Ang gaganda po ng inyong gawa. Kung feeling nyo hindi pa kayo tapos, okay lang yan. You can still finish your work. I'll be posting yung ginawa din natin later on, so you can check it out on my IG. Ayan. Asan na si Miss Marilyn? Miss Marilyn.
Hello.
Ayun. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng mini. Ang tawag dyan?
Yung pinipare natin question dyan.
Opo. So, meron po tayong para sa mga participants today. Yan. Pwede nyo pong i-erase. Remember, you erase only yung lines nyo nga pala pag tuyo na yung kasi baka may mag-erase kayo, basa pa siya, masira yung gawa nyo. Okay? Always remember, huwag kayong masyadong parang, gusto ko na i-erase, tas basa pa pala siya, baka masira yung inyong mga drawing. So, we'll have...
Opo.
Oo, tatandaan nyo yun. Dapat tuyo siya bago kayo mag-erase. Ayan, Miss Marilyn, are the questions coming from you or me?
From you na lang, Ian.
Ilang questions po tayo? Paano po nila malalaman kung sino sa kanila yung unang nagtaas ng kamay?
May raise hand dyan.
May raise hand. So bantayan niyo, Miss Marilyn, kung sino na unang mag-raise ng hand,
Okay.
Okay. So,
Jim.
pag sinabing
Ito mag-makita natin sa participant.
pag sinabing Pigma Micron, ano yung features, what are the different features that Pigma Micron has that would help you in doing urban sketching? You can just say at least siguro mga 2 main characteristic ng Pigma Micron as a pen na iba dun sa ibang mga pens na meron kayo. Raise hand daw po kayo. Meron na po ba? Ako baka mamaya magalit sila sa atin, hindi nyo nakitang nag-raise ng hand. Ayun, nakita nyo ba yun?
Oo. Iyan, ikaw na lang mag-choose.
Ba't ako? Dapat kayo kasi hindi ko nakikita lahat at the same time.
Sabihin ko dito, baka
Kayo na yung mamili randomly. Sino yung nag-raise ng hand kaagad. Nakita ko kasi kanina si si Leia ang nakita ko kanina kasi. Sige, Leia. Ayan, open natin yung ating si Leia Banasen. Ayan. At least 2 characteristic ng Pigma Micron that's different from other pens.
It's waterproof and fade-proof.
Yun, tama. Waterproof siya. Ibig pwede mo siyang gamitin with watercolors. And then it's also fade-proof, light fast. Hindi siya nagpe-fade kasi pigment liner. Tama siya. Yun. So, Miss Marilyn, yan po yung ating isang winner. Okay. Another one na question natin. Ilan ang available na colors ng koi coloring brush pen sa Philippines? Ayun din, taas na kamay, si Cadence. Nakita. Ilan siya? Yung lahat, lahat. Ay, hindi siya 24 lang. Kulang. Ayun, si Miss Margel.
Nag-erase din siya.
Ilan po?
Sige, ikaw na lang bahalang pumili.
Hindi ko
Nakita mo
makita.
naman, yung mga nag-erase.
Hindi ko nakikita. Anong number yan? 48? Tama? 48. Tama. Si Miss Margil Uy. 48. Ayun. Tama si Miss Margil Uy. Meron tayong 48 colors of koi watercolor brush, coloring brush pens ng Sakura. Pero pwede nyo rin siyang bilhin in special packs of 6. And then you also have yung 12s, 24s, and 48. Isa pa ba, Miss Marlene? Margil Uy yung isa pa?
Oh, isa pa.
Akin na lang yung isang prize. Hindi, joke lang. Nagkinuha nung nagturo yung prize. Ang daya. Okay, so, ngayon, ang tanong natin naman about dun sa ating ginawang workshop. Ano ang urban sketching ay traditionally saan dapat ginagawa? Saan? Ayun, nagtaas si paano to? Nagtaas ng kamay, tas ano ba yan? Napakabilis ng mga kamay nitong ating paano yung gano'n? Miss Marlene, paano yung gano'n? Napakabibilis, tatlo silang tas sumagot agad yung isa. Ayan. Una dun sa natin, from dun sa, is si Cadence. Si Cadence. Saan siya dapat ginagawa ang urban sketching, Miss Cadence? Come again?
Sa place ko nga on the spot.
Yon, on the spot. So, tama. So, si Cadence ang ating third winner for today. Ayan. So, I hope all of you enjoyed this session. Sana marami kayong natutunan. And I hope it's actually a little faster than the usual workshop, pero I wanted to give you yung learning na mas madami than the usual workshop. That's why I did it that way. Again, to review, para bago tayo magtapos, we started with using just Pigma Micron. Then right after, I tried incorporating Pigma Micron and the brush pen. And then dun sa latter part, we incorporated everything all together plus using the brush pen into watercolors. So I would like to say thank you to Sakura Philippines for having me for this series of workshop. I hope you can join us. If you are joining us also tomorrow, see you tomorrow. And for my succulent and cacti expressive botanicals drawing, if you're joining for this, I hope you practice it lagi and I hope to see your work. And I really hope to see yung mga finished product nyo for today. Feel free to tag me sa Instagram. It's ravenfox13. MR Darnaila. Yes, ano po yung tanong ni MR? Saan si MR? May tanong po ba?
Sorry, napindot lang. Sorry.
Okay. So, if you have any questions regarding this, kung nahihiya kayo, you can ask today. Kung may gusto kayong itanong na kailangan makuha nyo ngayon. If ever nahihiya kayo, nasabihin siya ngayon, you can just send a message on my Instagram. It's ravenfox13. Mahihiyain din naman ako minsan. Ayun. So thank you to Sakura Philippines for providing us all of the materials. This workshop is actually a very sulit workshop kasi the worth of the pens that you have for the set is actually more than 299 plus the workshop. Special thank you din sa SM Stationery. So you can buy all of these things that I've shown and used here. Sa SM Stationery, you can get them online para hindi na kayo aalis ng bahay. Pero kung nasa mall kayo, may dinaanan kayo. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Theo. I hope you learned a lot from this. And please practice. Please do it over and over again. Try to sketch yung inyong mga surroundings. You can sketch yung simple houses around your house. You can sketch yung street. Anything you can sketch. Basta yun isipin nyo, you can sketch anything. Okay? So, wala na kayong questions. Happy naman kayo. Sana happy kayo. I didn't know how to sketch until, di ba? Everything, you can do everything. As long as isipin nyo kaagad, you can do it. Yun. I'm very thankful and I hope all of you enjoyed this class. You learned a thing or two. And please, please continue sketching. It would make your observation skills better. It would make you happier. Okay? Thank you so much, Marie, Michelle, Catherine, Angelique. Thank you so much, Theo. Thank you so much, Margil, Grace, Darnaila, Cadence, Nicole, Sarah, Karen, Catherine, Shirley, Shay, CJ, Zoe, Janet, B, Darwin, Miss Des, Sakura, Marie, Kitty, Layla. Thank you. God bless you all. Mag-ingat po tayo. Social distancing, everything. For now, sketch at home. After everything is done, sketch outside. Thank you, Miss Leia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, CJ. Sa hindi ko nabanggit, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Kung namali ako ng ano sa inyo. Thank you and God bless. And see you tomorrow if you're also attending the next class. And thank you especially to Sakura Philippines and SM Stationery. I hope you had a great afternoon. Thank you so much. And stay creative. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this day. I'll be
Okay.
posting most of this later on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Congratulations to all the winners. SM Stationery will get in touch with you through email to give you information on how to claim your prize. So congratulations to everyone, and we hope you all had fun this afternoon. So we hope to see you again tomorrow for Ian's next session that's botanical drawing
Illustrations. Oh, yes.
illustration with Sakura Philippines. And also we still have 2 more weekends. After this, we still have 2 more weekends of art workshops. So we hope you could still join us for the next 2 weekends. So for more details, just check our Facebook and Instagram. That's SM Stationery PH, and our website, that's www.smstationery.com.ph. So again, thank you for joining this afternoon, and we hope you have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.